Hello and welcome back to the FreeMelon Society. Lovely FreeMelons out there. I'm Eli Martyr. I've got the distinct honor and pleasure of inviting Miss Magdalena White, Raw Coconut Girl, here onto the channel for an interview, for a lovely discussion today. And so, first of all, Magdalena, thank you so much for coming on and just sharing the time with me here today. I'll let you kind of give any kind of background information about yourself that you'd like people to hear. But I mean, just as a brief introduction, so for my audience, you guys all know that I've been living a fruit-based lifestyle for over 6 years now. And there really aren't too many people that I find doing what I'm doing. And so I had stumbled across your channel. To be honest, I can't even remember how. Whether someone recommended it to me or whether I just saw it, I can't even remember how. But anyhow, it turned out that you were doing a very similar lifestyle, very similar lifestyle to myself. So it's really nice to have you here because now it's just another perspective on the same lifestyle. So I think it's really important that you're here, and we've got a bunch of questions that we can go through, some common questions that I always get.
I am excited for sure every day, because everybody has their own journey.
Perfect. Okay, well, you know what? Why don't you just give us a 2-second introduction about yourself, just your background and experience. And if I'm not mistaken, you've even worked with Dr. Morse, or do work with Dr. Morse as well. Just let us know, let our audience know who we're speaking with today.
All right. So I'm a regenerative detoxification specialist and parathyroidologist. I'm into healthy lifestyle for a pretty long time. It's been a long time already. And of course, I do fasting, cellular detox, studied and graduated and was certified with the world-class master of this path, the world-class health specialist, right, Robert Morse. And I cooperate and continue to grow based on the knowledge of masters of this path. And again, Dr. Robert Morse, Dr. Marcy Troyer, and other beautiful spirits that are, following this beautiful lifestyle, and they're teaching us the way of living, the true living, right? And I believe that I came to this world with my artistic consciousness, with my consciousness, if it comes to the food, the way I eat, the way I live. Because just it came up naturally to me. I also am a professor at the Dr. Morse's school, naturopathic school that he's creating right now. We are creating a beautiful footage for each and every one of you, so everyone can take it and can take the course and become one of the specialists, on a really good level. And what's the most beautiful about it, that it brings so much joy, to be on this path and working with each and every one of you, same, and exchanging the energy. It's such a pleasure.
Now, I already mentioned that there really aren't that many people. Well, no, I know it's a growing community. It's just, I guess in my limited experience here, like where I'm living, like my circle of friends and whatnot, it's just, I don't see it very often. And I'm sure, with you, maybe you probably see it more often than I would here, because you live in Maui?
Yeah, I live in yes,
Okay.
Maui, Hawaii, yes.
Okay, so I mean, I'm assuming it's probably more likely to see this kind of thing there, but I don't see that many people doing the lifestyle here. And my first question to you, before we get into some of like the more common things that I'm asked on my channel, is are you a freak? Like, am I a freak? Like, what motivated you to stick with this lifestyle? Because people, they jump in, they jump out, they feel this, and then they get scared, they run away. They do, like, there's a hundred reasons why people try this type of thing and never stick to it. What makes you different? what is it that you're doing? Is there something that clicked for you in like something that you read, or what is it that makes you stick to a fruit-based lifestyle and not that many other people?
That's actually a great question. I love this question because I have so many answers.
Yeah.
I need to
I'm gonna confine and narrow down.
I'm like, shrink it.
Yeah.
Like whole piece. I will try my best.
Okay.
Well, so first of all, I think people, maybe I will start from everything around that I observed being on this path. Yeah. I think the most important is to stop categorizing yourself and put into boxes. Like when someone calls me, oh, are you fruitarian? I actually don't like to call myself fruitarian because I believe I am a frugivorous species, you know? I came to this world with my frugivore instinct.
Yeah.
And so I don't like to be called fruitarian because you know that all names are created by humans in order of categorizing us, right? And wherever we live, wherever we come from and stuff like that. I think we just need to quit that thought process and stop thinking. And that's just my lifestyle. I just eat fruits, that's all, you know, and I enjoy it. And if I have a salad, doesn't mean that I'm not fruitarian anymore. You still are fruitarian. That's another reason why I don't like categorizing myself, because, I am, let's say, with others, and if someone is like, oh, so you're not eating fruit tonight, you eat salad? Yeah, doesn't mean that I'm not a fruitarian, like they like to call it, because fruitarians also have salads, but we just are more intense into fruits, right? And I can be fully on fruits all the time. It doesn't bother me. I only actually go with salads if I don't have a choice, I guess, or I'm a must for me because I don't have opportunities, any fruits around, good fruits, then I would go with that. But I really don't need that. But I know that question will be later. So let's focus on what I want to actually say. So I followed my spirit since a young age, and I only wanted to eat fruit, you know, and I believe I brought my strength and consciousness, you know, from my past lives. I truly believe, because I feel a so strong connection with my past lives and the way I was raised, and eating fruits brings spirituality on the highest level possible, especially after you detox, right? Correctly, we know it. And you know, the most important is that my mom fed me also with tons of fruits, and instead of sweets, I got fruits to eat, which I'm so grateful for. That was helping me also to follow this, I think, lifestyle. But also, you know, what I think it's also important to bring up here is that you know, my parents were feeding me, you know, different food too, because the way where I come from, they eat heavy traditional food, so it was hard to avoid. However, I didn't want to eat that food, and there was always a big problem. It wasn't a problem. I just wanted to eat what I'm designed to eat. So I was just going out and always asking, you know, my parents for money. They give me some, you know, money so I can get something from the store. And she's like, "What are you getting? You know, sweets?" I'm like, "No, something better." And I was always buying apples, plums, cherries. That was crazy. That's all I had at that time. And all winter I was on apples, like all the time. Like just my connection to my spirit was so strong since a young age, you know, and I just knew that's the way I want to eat, and I felt different than others. I saw that I'm different than others. Yeah. But I couldn't escape from that, because then I was pushed by family and society to consume some meat and dairy for like 2 or 3 up till I think 4 years. I don't even want to say dates or anything because, you know, I don't like to operate with dates. I don't live with time, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel
It's just like, yeah, the period of time, the length doesn't really matter. I just was there too.
Yeah.
And I know how I felt. I felt crap. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I got sick very often. And yeah, I was on heavy medication since a young age because I was sick very often. Like, you know, eating like this and not having options, I had to stick with other food too. And I was always inflamed, always. So I was born with also chronically congested weaknesses and you know, and chronic weaknesses, and I had to reverse that. That's what I'm working on too. It gives me so much pleasure. And so yeah, that's I think the most important thing. Oh, and I want to come back because I mentioned about spirituality, that it brings you on the highest level if it comes to spirituality. I'm not trying to say I'm better than others, nothing like that. There is no better or worse. I think we are all beautiful. But that just was my path. I climbed so high on a spiritual level because I was doing Fruitarianism, like they call it, in a conscious way, but I didn't know the way how it's called. I didn't know that it's something like this that people are following right now.
Right.
And we didn't have an internet back then either, so it was, you know, it was pretty crazy for that. You know.
Yeah. You know, I feel as though, because when we're born, you know, all parents do this. All parents instinctually feed their kids very, very light food, right? All parents are feeding their kids fruits. It's just something that they seem to intuit correctly that is
Yes.
proper for the kid, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from you is that, you know, in terms of why you're able to stick with it, I feel that the same natural intuition that all humans are born with, you know, to eat it, for whatever reason, that stuck with you for your transitionary period, whereas for other people, you know, the culture gets to them too much. Whereas for you, you were more sensitive to the natural state, and you recognize that a bit early, which is fantastic, because, you know, culture is a very, very oppressively influential character builder. And so, you know, and much like myself, you ran through a bunch of health difficulties as a kid, and you're just like, oh, okay, what the hell's wrong with me? So yeah,
we can talk about it all day, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's great that you have, because I mean, you know, you're healthy, you're well, you look fantastic, and and people recognize that, and then they're gonna ask, you know, I wonder what this person's doing, and so anyway, it's just spreading the good word. Now I know I don't want to, because you have lots of videos on this on your channel. So guys, I'll post the link to her channel so you can go and check out the Raw Coconut Girl. You can take a look at all her content. And I don't want to just give you questions that you already answer a whole bunch on your channel. So
I know, yeah.
The obvious question is, okay, what do you eat? Guys, she's got a bunch of what I eat videos on her channel. So if you're curious about that, you know, and go and check that out. So the last thing that I'll ask you before I get into some of the more common questions that maybe we can together try and tackle these for the community. But not, you know, in terms of how you eat or what you eat, what is like your how do I say this? What's your general system? When I say system, I don't mean to say that you have created a system and you do this and this and this every day. That's not what I meant. I mean, rules. Yeah. I'm just, what do you tend to do? Like, is it like with me, I like mostly mono meal throughout the day. Not throughout the day, but like either 1 or 2 meals during the day of mono meals. If I want a snack, then I'll take a snack of another mono meal of some, or various combinations, like two food. So what's your general system throughout the day, so people know? Because it's good, because like you're a girl, I'm a guy, right? So my audience only knows Fruitarianism from my perspective, so it's good for the females, for the ladies out there on my channel at least, to get your perspective on how it is for you. So what's your general system like throughout the day?
So, well, that's another beautiful question, and I would like to cover everything. I healed so much on this lifestyle that's not even funny. We'll talk about it later too.
Yeah.
But answering this question is actually pretty hard for me, because I don't like this answering this question typically.
Yeah.
You know, what do you eat on a daily basis and stuff like that, because I don't want anyone to follow me, since we've been on this journey for pretty long, or enough long time. Enough time to understand that we can play with it too, and we can just follow our intuition differently than others, and we can trust it more, I would say, because you open up your chakras. You're opening all the channels of elimination, but also absorption. And this is the beauty of it, what I believe. But so I really don't want to recommend anything to anyone right now, because I would suggest always to consult it with your specialist, detox specialist, or any specialist from Dr. Morse that is specialized in this stuff. I highly recommend. I think this is the best reliable source that nowadays we can get any information about health in the highest way possible and in the best way possible, right? But what I'm trying to say here, I typically, so I will share something very important that you mentioned at the beginning, that you live in Hawaii, you probably have more people around that eat fruit, so it's easier for you to stick to this lifestyle. And honestly, I've been fruitarian also when I lived in California and New York and Florida. It was cold in New York, wintertime. Freezing cold. I still had my fruits. I went to the Asian market and I had my fruits. I went to the Chinatown and I still had my jackfruit, my durian, and tropical fruits, and I was fully on fruits all the time. And I had a little cart that I bought at Whole Foods. And I was just like pulling it behind me everywhere. And I had like watermelons, like everything. And it was super heavy. And I always got help because I just was living now at the moment. I didn't I wasn't like, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna get it, how I'm gonna take it to the house. Oh my gosh, it's such a long way from Manhattan, taking on the subway, all that stairs and stuff. I always got that help, because that's the spirituality that I was talking about, that you attract good energy, and that energy will be helping you to thrive, in this life. So how beautiful this is. Okay, going into my I finally will answer your question. Being long enough on this lifestyle, I play with it. I follow my intuition, and I really, sometimes I eat more, sometimes I eat less, sometimes I don't eat anything, sometimes I dry fast all day, or I'm doing just a short juice fast one day, like coconut water fast. I do intermittent fast daily. I start with my juice, and it's 1 p.m. here, and I'm having my juice. I haven't eaten anything yet. I have juices or herbal teas. What I actually eat, it depends if I'm on a herbal protocol, or I'm not. So now I'm not, and I'm allowing myself for more dense fruit, like durian. Lots of durian. I eat lots of durian. And you asked me what I've been eating recently. I've been having my juice. Then I had melon for breakfast. I usually have watermelon for breakfast, or any melon. Then I have papayas, because Maui has the most delicious papayas in the world. They really are. you just need to have a reliable source. You have to have a good source, and know that you can trust the farmer. And because they do a lot of GMO stuff around too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have papayas, then I have a juice, or I have nothing, and I have my durian, a huge durian, huge pile of durian. I have a full, maybe like two whole fruits of durian. I can easily eat it. Sometimes I eat 8 pockets and I'm full. Sometimes I eat like 4 and I'm full. And durian is in season now, so that's why. And durian is my favorite fruit too, though, so I could live off durian.
Mine too.
It's so good.
Mine too.
Is it?
Durian is my. I don't want to steal your thunder here. The first time I put durian in my mouth, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe what I was tasting. Like it was ridiculous. I'm like, this is gustatory heaven. I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, so we're oh, sorry, go ahead.
But we should have another video regarding durian, the varieties.
Yes. I should have made a rule before we got onto this interview that durian will not be mentioned, because I'll be forced to end the video immediately and just run out to the store and mow down on durian. Like, I mean, that stuff is so.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm kidding. No,
yeah, but I need to tell you something. Can I just say something about durian?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had such a great durian. Like, I had like I think 5 types of durian. I had there was one type of, I don't know if you ever had that one, but if you did, just let me know. Have you ever had blackthorn durian?
Blackthorn durian. No, I don't think so. No, it doesn't sound familiar. No. Oh no. I'm sure it's delicious though.
It tastes so I think that was the worst durian I ever had.
Oh, it was the worst. Okay. Oh, okay, good. All right, thank God.
It tastes like wine mixed with fermented eggs. Crazy taste.
Oh.
It was weird.
Okay.
And I'm very sweet too.
Yeah.
You know, I need sweet durian, and this is fucking durian. It's amazing.
It was weird. Yeah.
But that one, I think that, what's the name of that one? I have so many like varieties that I tried recently, and I need to double check, so you can maybe write it down here in the description below or something. But it's just my favorite durian. I mean, so far, maybe I have like 2 favorites.
Okay. It's
hard to pick. It's hard to pick the favorite one, but I can say that the one that I didn't like, I remember the most. How crazy is that?
Is that funny?
To just give you a heads up, you know, so you know that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Well, thank you. I had no idea. But if I ever see blackthorn durian, I'll make sure to just stick with my regular variety of durian.
Yeah, like Chane or, you know, Gagnon, stuff like that, and they are all good. But I actually have. Oh wait! I'll tell you which one is my favorite. That one, no kite, and I don't even know how to read it. But this one, see, I am all into.
Amazing, yeah.
And Musang, amazing.
Okay.
Oh my!
Oh,
this one is amazing.
So delicious. It looks.
And blackthorn. I'm sorry, I can't.
Good.
The taste of this one is like, it's crazy intense. It's all intense. Like, I put too much in my mouth at the first time, and I almost. It was that feeling that it's like, oh, I have to spit it out, because it wasn't as I expected it to be, you know. I expected sweetness and that flavor, delicious, creamy texture. And then this one was like,
it's like, what
is it?
Maybe that's why, like, these one-off varieties of durian, maybe that's why, one of the reasons why durian gets such a bad rap, because people taste that, think that all durian is like that. And I don't know, maybe that's why, because the durian that I've tasted is you know, out of this world good. And it's, you know, it's so funny. I was laughing earlier because it's so funny that people in the raw food community, people that do like lots of fruit in the diet, it's so funny because you can see the excitement for these foods in the eyes, and you just see it. Like, we seem to have this like, oh my God, this is so exciting, you know, and it's just amazing. Yeah, it's funny. It's just really
it's
funny.
all life about that, right? Like that experience. I just love fruit so much that I can't resist. I'm like, that durian, I need to have one soon again.
I can almost guarantee you that you've inspired me to go grab some more durian at some point soon.
Please do. But here's highly recommendation for those who have too much sulfur in their bodies. It can hurt you because, you know, when GI tract, everything is just like congested with the sulfur itself. Yeah, you can experience unpleasant side effects, you know. And also for those who drink coffee, you shouldn't drink coffee at the same day while eating durian. There are some certain rules for when you are on traditional food diet, you know, that you should follow. So like I said, we can talk like hours about it, you know, and share information with people, but I know that the question was different, and
that's okay. Well, it's actually, I'm actually glad you mentioned it, because one of the most common things that I hear, and, you know, speaking about kind of unpleasant side effects or whatnot, there seems to be this thing going around where people imagine that eating a diet of primarily fruit, or a high percentage of fruit, right, is deteriorating in some way, or it breaks you down. I've heard people say, oh, why is it that a fruit-based lifestyle ages you faster? And, you know, I'll read the comments. I'm like, huh? What? It's okay.
It's actually the opposite. You are reversing your.
I know, but where is this coming from though? Like, so I'm gonna, you know, tax your experience and all the people that you. So there's this thing going around where people are worried about the lifestyle because of whatever this is, where they think that it's either going to age them faster, it's going to somehow deteriorate them faster. Now, we all know that any kind of raw food lifestyle that you go on or cleanse is cleansing, right? It is cleansing. So it is going to pull stuff out of you. Like, that's guaranteed. But it seems like there's a conflation of the cleansing effects and a generalized deterioration of the body that people are kind of confusing. Okay, so my question to you is, have you encountered
sad word.
Yeah, have you encountered this before? And what are your thoughts on how to respond to people that have these fears about a fruit-based lifestyle?
So I experienced nothing but thriving in this lifestyle, you know, and I believe that the less you know yourself, the more you fear. You know, that's why people fear their fruit, thinking it can hurt them and it can cause diabetes and stuff like that, this is false information. This is misleading. This is misleading people, right? And people like to blame their fruits for everything because it's a good excuse. Where the truth is, that's full of acids that are in their bodies and the acidosis itself. So when you cook your food, and after your cooked meal, you consume fruit on top of that cooked food, guess what you're going to get? Bad GI tract issue, stomach pain, right? Fermentation. It causes fermentation because you eat fruit on top of something that haven't digested yet, and it still needs more time to be digested and utilize, absorb, and stuff like that. All that processes that we are going through, right?
Mhm.
We are eating, and it's impossible to have a good experience with the fruit itself. Another
Right.
thing is people don't know how to pick their fruit correctly. Like we were talking about durian itself. If you eat one fruit that it's not properly ripe, it's with not grown in a bad soil, it's picked too early. There's so many levels of like consciousness, awareness of knowing how to even eat that fruit correctly, right? The only fruit that it's actually the safest to eat and it's ripening by itself after is being picked. It's banana, right? But other fruits, other than that, no option. And people put in. I heard my many clients that were telling me they were saying, "Hey, Magdalena, I put my fruit on the window and the sun is heating them up, so they're becoming better and they're ripening." I'm like, they're really not. They're losing their nutritions and they're losing their taste, and they're not sweet as the way as they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they don't have the same properties, even if they are sweet and you think they're yummy. Our palates say something different, because the more you grow on this lifestyle, the more clean you eat, you're detoxing, right? And plus, if you use herbs on top and fast, this is just powerful tool of regeneration of your cells that you can regenerate on a cellular level as well if you're using that detox on that level. Because with fruits, they're they won't go as deep. You can just detox so far. If you have more serious issues, and nowadays we don't have good quality fruit. It's hard to get, even here in Hawaii,
Right.
So I think it's good to just learn how to pick fruits. And I'm not trying to tell everyone to eat fruits from now on only. No, because it's good to just change. I don't know, reject one thing that you eat right now, and it's already better.
You're right.
And every day just trying to just eat less of the food that it's causing you a disease and health issues. And plus, if you want to experience real good experience with fruit and learn how to live with them, I would suggest everyone to start their breakfast from beautiful fruity salad, let's say, or just monofruit in the morning, and then I think this will show them the way they should feel after eating fruit. That energy is just never ending. We know that.
Yeah, those are some important points. And because we always have to remember that the natural state of life, not of just human beings, of life itself, is health. So that is the natural inherent prerogative is abundant health. It's only what you do in your life that gets in the way of that natural prerogative of the vital force that runs and operates your body. So it's almost, in a manner of speaking, it's easier to be healthy than it is to be not healthy, because in order to be healthy, you just don't have to do anything, really. It's like you just don't have to go out and do all these complex things in the dietary world. You don't have to run out and get all these superfood. If you just scale back and treat life like a baby, just that food tastes good, right? In the absence of like stimulating things, you just treat it like a baby, and you're probably going to be healthier than most people around you if you just stick to what God, nature, whatever you want to call it, spirit has programmed your body to take in. You just listen to that, and it's very, very difficult to go wrong. And now, in terms of my question, Yeah, you brought up a good point, because I think a lot of people are they're dipping their toe into the fruit-based lifestyle, but they're also still including some things in the old diet because they want to make a transition, right?
Mhm.
But if they do that in the wrong combinations, then what you're asking for is an acidotic, a waste producing nightmare in the system. And that can have undue effects. I mean, even if you jump to a fruit-based or raw living food diet drastically, even if you aren't eating things in bad combinations, the initial
Unfortunately.
wave of the food going through you is going to stir up poisons. It's going to ferment old rotting material in there. Some of the acids are going to start dissolving mucus waste and whatnot, and that might have effects. And so there's that too. So like, I mean,
Yes.
it's understandable why people might initially make that assessment of a fruit-based lifestyle, deteriorating you. Because I mean, look at yourself and myself. Like we're both slim people. Like we're both, slim-bodied.
Yeah.
I would not consider you, deteriorated though, or emaciated or whatnot. And I don't think I would consider myself that either. But I am slimmer than, a lot of people, males my age walking around. Like I have a almost like high school like physique in terms of, in compared to
Great job. You're reversing your clock.
So yeah, it's so there's that. I guess there's a distinction to be made between cleansing and deterioration. If you want to deteriorate, then okay, fine, eat Jello for a year. Yeah, maybe you might start deteriorating or something. But okay.
But you brought up really important point here as well, because we are so programmed nowadays. All the system, media, they're just supporting and they're just spreading a message, promoting as much as possible high protein diet full of meat, dairy, and this is the saddest part ever, because I have never seen, I haven't watched TV for so many years, so I have no clue what it's already, like what they changed, if they ever changed anything. But in the past, many years ago, when I watched commercials or something, just was curious what's in it, and there was nothing valuable. I only learned like the silly music and stuff, and I just saw pictures of sandwiches and that food. They don't even show animals. They don't show the animals. Like I've never seen, just dogs. But what about the pigs? What about cows? What about other animals that we kill on a daily basis, and there's such a big amount of them? And as sharks, like we have very big issue now here in Maui. Sharks, dolphins, whales, crazy thing. And we hear that because we live closer to the ocean, that maybe that's why it's familiar to us to know and diving deeper into the sea life and ocean creatures. But what I'm trying to say also is that people learn, they absorb from a young age all these commercials, and then they think, okay, now I have to look like this because in commercials they look like this, right? They show certain stuff, and this is how we are like monkeys. What they show us, we do because this is how.
Yeah.
And this is crazy world. That's why when you look at the television, that tells the vision, so tells us the vision, the way we need to live our life. And that's my just personal opinion. I don't want to judge anyone who watches TV, because I believe it's good sometimes to watch to just what's going on, and to just, but you need to just know how to protect yourself, keep the distance, and pick still your own path. That's why I think that was easier for me, because I never been into TV too much, and I just was like, I was really different. And I would like to connect that spirituality that I mentioned in the beginning, that this journey takes, when you're eating fruit or raw food, it brings you to the level, takes you to the level where you just want to spend time with yourself, that you want to focus on your own growth, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How beautiful this is. And I felt like many times my colleagues were going for disco and dance and do other parties. I never did. I was like, no, I want to be home in my four walls and I just want to paint that art. Like that was me. And I was just creating. And I think that helps me to meditate a lot and put that consciousness more and spirituality in me. And then it was just hard for me to be understood
Yeah.
by others. So but it was fun. I enjoy it. I'm so happy that I did that. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I'm really relieved to hear that, you didn't get too much, TV influence. It's very difficult to avoid, obviously, media and all that.
Yeah.
Because they promulgate so many lies and erroneous notions out there. We've still got the the conflation of sugar and natural carbohydrate from fruit. We've still got this confusion of terms going on. And you go to the American the Diabetes Association and they'll tell you, oh, don't eat potatoes if you've got diabetes, or don't eat fruit, don't eat bananas. It's just like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
So we're still plagued by that. Yeah.
Actually food that makes your body alkaline.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got that influence. And I one of the other questions I had for you, riding along that wavelength, is in terms of teeth. I get this all the time. I get people asking, did you have to go through any like tooth issues? I eat fruit and my teeth start hurting. Yeah. So I get this. I've gotten that a lot. What are your experiences with teeth issues? I guess maybe I'll just chime in myself quickly. I never noticed really much that I couldn't deal with in a couple of days. So early on my path, when I was eating lots of like I would eat lots of dates, lots of dried figs. Sometimes my fruit combinations weren't as good. And so if I did that and I didn't give my teeth a break, then I would get a little bit of sensitivity. But all it took was me not doing that, and then for the next day or two, and then back to normal. And then, so as long as I ate normally and I didn't gorge myself 24/7, right, then I was okay. So
dehydrating yourself with dry fruit.
yeah, exactly. So as long as I didn't gourmandize the heck out of myself, then I was okay. So that was my experience. As long as I just stuck to what I knew was human food and not overdo it, not go crazy, as much as it's tough to overeat, fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's going to be hard to gain weight. Like when I say gain weight, get fat on fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, because you can build muscles on it.
Yeah. But yeah, so my experience was pretty pleasant. And then the little hiccups here and there, it was very easy to identify, oh, okay, it's because I did this. So I'll just not do that. And then the problem goes away like instantly. So how did it work for you? Have you experienced anything like this? And what of your patients, your clients, anything, like give us some of your experiences on tooth related issues with this lifestyle.
All right, but first of all, you got beautiful teeth.
Thank you. You
do. And this is the beauty of it. So I believe that, I know that's the true. What I'm going to share right now is that fruits and vegetables are cleaning our mouth. Yeah. They're not making it dirty or anything. They are cleaning it. So once it happens and you are acidic in the body, the acids wants to actually be released somehow. And if your kidneys are not filtering well or not at all, then your acids will be released in a huge amount through the mouth, through the nose, through all your holes in the entire body, ears, anus, like belly button, everywhere, like everything that is possible to release that acids through. And skin is like the biggest, it's like the third kidney, right? Big elimination here. So if then you can experience acids in your mouth, like you have acidic saliva instead of alkaline saliva, because all these acids that are in the head area, that are congested, sinuses, brain, neck, tonsils, like everything, this, all of this, and hold that mucus and hold, like it can be abstracted easily. But once we eat raw, we put alkalinity in the body, right? So the body wants to clean itself automatically. We don't even need to do anything, just eat clean. How beautiful this is. And so I always, what I've been doing is to rinse him every time after I try. I don't do it often, but I always recommend to each and every one of you to rinse your mouth after each meal. Just rinse your mouth and it will be fine, because of that acid that you can have in the certain areas in your body if you haven't detoxed, Another thing is, what I would say is oil pulling. I prefer herbal pulling, rather than oil pulling, but it's also good. It also it's cleaning up your teeth. So some of my clients experience like they having like some color changes on their teeth. And the reason to that is, in my opinion, is because of the acids itself and some weaknesses in the body, that they are suffering from, and they need to heal it, right? So we need to get to the root of the root of that problem. And if you can experience that, if you don't take a good care of your teeth early on, like you starting your journey and just take care of your teeth, so just brush them gently, even like just water pick and stuff like that. I have a whole video, I think I do, about how to clean your teeth, because I have two YouTube channels, like Polish and English. And I'm like, oh my gosh, which one was that? How to clean your mouth, and rinsing with herbs is very beneficial, in my opinion. This is my experience, and what I went through, I want to be honest here. I never had issues with my teeth, unless I actually got some after I landed in the hospital because of my surgeries on my knee. And I had 4 surgeries in a short period of time. And so that hurt me. That hurt me a lot. Everything like that I built up, throughout my years on being on this lifestyle, I actually was like, boom, I need to start from the beginning. So that caused me some issues where I saw my enamel was weaker and it hurt. So I had I couldn't walk for 9 months. I was on a wheelchair and stuff, because they told me after that 3 surgeries I won't be able to walk again for the rest of my life. So I had pretty rough experience with and once I the 4th surgery, actually they fixed my knee. I started my recovery, and that was amazing, fast. So my teeth started to rebuild, and I started detox. I started herbal protocols, and it started to rebuild. beautifully. And I highly suggest to just, if you see that your teeth are breaking down on being on raw black stuff, you just need to know and address the weaknesses that you may have in the body. That's why it occurs, because I don't, like your experience amazing. You didn't have extreme, I think, experience like I did with I had with my surgeries throughout your journey.
Yeah.
So you didn't need to worry about it, right? I never had to worry about my teeth, never ever. And then I got to that point of being under anesthesia for times and a short period of time. So that brought me down so much, and they were even scared to put me more under anesthesia than once. Yeah. And I was 4 times, and yeah. So and
so that was a skiing. Was it a skiing accident? I think you have it in the intro to your channel. It was a skiing accident that you had to recover from.
That was ski. Yes, I had a ski accident, tibia plateau fracture and torn meniscus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and doctor said that was crazy story. Please go to my YouTube check. I put so much heart into these videos because I know we don't have enough time to explain everything, and it doesn't really. I don't want to make that point here right now, but I think it's just so much information that it's important. Like every information is important out there, and it's really, the best I could share. I shared everything, actually, to be honest with others, to get that good karma back. And I said everything, how it looked, because I had 3 surgeries that weren't done correctly. And that was a big problem of my health issues, because my pancreas started going down, like my kidneys, my adrenals, my back. That was crazy. I was born with scoliosis, and then that got worse. And after that, actually, I detoxed that. It was back 2017. And my back is straight. Like I have no more scoliosis, nothing. I used to walk, after these surgeries, I was like this.
Yeah.
Because my back was just naturally this way. It kind of like went down, and all my posture has changed back then. And then I just started detoxing on herbs, Saccharomyces protocol, and I started diving deeper into this detox lifestyle, and then like I'm just straight, like I don't have back issues anymore. This is how beautiful this is. There is a lot of I will mention that later, probably, about the recovery stories and stuff, what I feel. But this is the main, that was the very big thing to me, to show also myself, just for myself, for others too, because doctors were like, shocked, oh my gosh, you're healing so fast, what you doing? We don't know what you're doing, just keep it doing. It's amazing. And they were like shocked how fast I healed after each surgery, and my leg, I had a surgery at Stanford Hospital in California, the 4th surgery, and they fixed my leg. Like that was amazing. And after that, they said, do you see that NBA player? I'm like, yeah. He can't walk on the next day after surgery. And I was walking, like, and of course not like walking because you can't overdo it, but
sure.
I could straight up my leg, and my leg was bended for a long period of time because it wasn't,
that's it's great that you're mentioning this. It was, you actually kind of started answering my last question for you was which is essentially, I mean, what are the difficulties? I was going to ask, what are the difficulties that you've encountered, making this
transition? Sorry, I speeded up.
No. That's fine, because healing is definitely one of those things, or recovery from trauma is something that sometimes motivates people to jump onto a healthy modality of living. So and it's good that just like honest with what we've experienced, or what we've encountered, or the ebbs and the lows of what people can experience, whether it's positive or negative, or, well, in our subjective interpretation. But yeah, I was gonna ask, so is there anything else that you noticed that was detrimental, or not detrimental, but what were the least enjoyable fluctuations that you noticed in doing this lifestyle, if any? Because I know that everyone has their little things, their little troubles, their little, because we're all coming from a very
struggles
world. Struggles, right?
Oh, another good question. I feel like the most beautiful part of all of my healing was each healing was different. It taught me a lot. And I became more present, like I live now, rather than what is going to be in the future or what just happened. Oh my gosh. And if I have a bad day, I just don't worry. I worry at that day, right? But the next day I'm like newborn. I'm like, okay, that was just a thunderstorm that had to hit me a little bit, because I was too happy, to balance me a little bit, because this lifestyle makes you so happy. And, it's all about balance, right? So if you are too much, and sometimes I am so deep in spirituality that I can't, it's hard for me to connect with other humans on the level that I should connect, like, because you are just into that world. You know what I mean? I know you understand me.
Yes.
So to communicate with someone, you need to slow down sometimes, because you would be out of this world, just cruising out there, right? But to live in this beautiful life and to be present is important, to just know the difference and how to work with that. I healed so much during this a period of time. I maybe just mentioned quickly. I have a list here to not to forget what I want to say. Very quick. So January, that was 2017, I had that ski tragic accident.
Okay.
A tragic ski accident. Edit. Tibia plateau fracture and torn meniscus. So 4 juries, 3 of them were done correctly. That was really tough. So like I mentioned before, you can watch all my story on my YouTube as well, where you can see the real thing, how it really looked like. And you can see before how I looked, and after, how I had a muscle atrophy. So, you could see my muscles, they were gone. Like, it was a really tough moment for me. And then after that that's the accident, they found that I have torn tendon in my foot.
Ouch.
And then they wanted to, again, do surgery for that foot. And I'm like, no. And how can I make sure that it's going to be done correctly? I don't want to have the same situation like with the previous surgery. So I didn't agree. And I just did my detox, and my tendon is connecting, like it's just regrowing. It's just like beautiful. And they said you can't heal it without a surgery. How beautiful this is. And I'm like, I didn't believe in that. I believe in myself, in my body. No pain. I have nothing there. It was in a bad pain. I couldn't walk with the shoes. And I walk barefoot most of my time on a daily basis. Like, I wear shoes just going to the store not to walk on the fake surfaces and stuff. But when I walk on the earth all the time barefoot, and I think that helped me a lot too. And I can't wear shoes anymore. I can't stand shoes anymore. So hard for me now. I don't know. Imagine to go to New York now and walk.
Right. It'd be too much for you.
Too much. And yeah. Anyway, yes. I discovered back then, I learned a lot about shoes too. Oh my gosh, it's so important what kind of shoes you wear, because all these shoes are actually hurting our feet. And I discovered that based on my foot. once it healed, I couldn't wear certain shoes because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable. It hurts.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna do this to myself? I prefer to just walk barefoot. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then fibrocystic breast. I suffered at the age of 15. I healed that completely. If someone doesn't know what it is, if anyone doesn't know what it is, it's just suffering from just fibrocystic breast. Is you have a lot of congestion in the breast area, like you can feel like it's a hard surface. It's not like it should be soft or pleasant to touch. It was just like hard, and you could feel all that balls shape, something, right? Like fatty cells or something, like something that was just there sitting. And I was so young, and they said, oh, just wait, you will heal it, but it didn't heal. So they wanted to put me under MRI, what's the mammography and stuff. And I was so young. So that was crazy to put like 15 years old. And it's healed like nothing. So, and for women only, my breasts got bigger after detoxification and detoxing all the programs. So if you really want to heal your breast, you can do it naturally. So if you have too small breasts, that it should be in a normal size, because every woman should have the breast, right? It's just for like how we are created naturally. So yeah, just try with nature first. Nature is just amazing. It's a power of God, a power of the universe. Anything you believe in is just
that's
the most energetical.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like, this is good, because this is not something that you hear very typically, right? For women's health, no one is giving you that information, right? Cut out all like the stimulating, foods, all the cooked foods and whatnot, and you can actually regulate, your bust size. This incredible.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Yes, it's incredible. And what's the beauty? They ask me many times, where did you make your breast? It's just funny. Fruits, eat your fruits, right? And detox that body. Because I think it's, again, media, all that world, and I just don't understand all the people that are hurting themselves with Botox and stuff. You really can do it naturally, and you're the most beautiful and you're in a pure natural form. So why you hurt yourself like that way?
You mentioned that you do juice cleanses whenever, every once in a while. If people want a natural Botox, do a juice cleanse for whatever, 5 days. I mean, go longer than that. Short. But I mean, all of a sudden, it's just like, oh my God, it's a new person that shows up in front of the mirror. And that's all it really.
And another thing, yes, I'm happy you said that. I just would like to add here, because to just not jumping into juicing too fast, just please don't jump too fast. Just prepare yourself, transition. I would never recommend like juicing for transition, where many people that do. They really promote that, and I see people coming to me and they have digestive issues, they have health GI tract issues, they can't sleep, they have depression, and the most important thing, they suffer from eating disorders. They're jumping after juicing into heavy food because all that worms that haven't been destroyed yet. Because they just asking, they're just craving, and then the person is jumping on a heavy food, and they can't stop, and it's getting worse actually than better.
So you would say that you wouldn't go right into juicing for, like, so let's say I eat an everything goes standard American or standard anywhere garbage diet, right? So you would say that it would be better for me to go on cleaner food first for a while and then later do a juice cleanse?
Yes, that's my personal opinion and experience with this lifestyle. Personally, I remember myself, I went through this, guys. I also had heavy food in the past, and when I did juice cleanse, my first juice cleanse was like vegetable. based on vegetables. I went through the hell. I was like, pain. The whole lymphatic system was moving up and down. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. It was crazy. I was in a panic attack. And I'm not saying everybody will experience that, but if I experience that, I believe everybody will experience it in a different way. And I'm a very calm person. I was still terrified. I didn't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, I need to stop it. That's not natural. I shouldn't feel that way immediately. This is too much. So all these acids were just like, they're screaming at me because that was too intense, too much, you can shock your body. And then a lot of people are going to ER. And once you get to ER, you may stuck there, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can just stuck on medications, and it's gonna be just hard. Yeah. Just very hard to. So same with enemas. It's just like, people, please be careful. You don't need this crazy stuff. You can really heal yourself on whole fruits as well. And Dr. Morse healed himself on being on whole fruits, just on whole fruits, on oranges. And I believe that too, because this is what I've been healing mostly. I just was experimenting more, I was just trying to see. I did grape juice fast for 40 days and I would never repeat that anymore. That was just one time and I'm like, I'm done. I will never go again on this path. I don't need that. I know I have better ways of healing rather than juicing is not natural. We weren't born with a juicer, right. And in my bag, in my bag in the other hand. I'm newborn. I'm gonna use it from now on. This is not natural, right? Right. So I just follow the nature, in my opinion. There was so much serious pancreatic issues that showed up after my surgeries on my knee, to the point where I healed it all of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, but you can see it in my iris, like, oh my gosh, that's healed. Like, this is healing, still healing, because it takes time, but it's amazing. It was in a chronic condition. I had really bad GI tract, like gastrointestinal digestive issues after eating, after drinking water. I was born with some weakness too. So, that actually helped me to heal. I have nothing, like I cannot eat. I released so much sulfur on my cleansing journey. That's not even funny. It burned me. I don't want to say where, but it burned it can burn you badly because sulfur is acidic. Sulfur is hot. Right. It's crazy. And I released so much, where in the past when I was eating durian, I experienced such a bad side effects after eating it. And now, no problem. And now nothing. Because durian contains that sulfur itself, right? Natural sulfur, but it still can irritate you and it can cause unpleasant feelings. So another, nails, hair, skin glowing, radiant and strong. That's true too. It regenerates itself. Sometimes you can lose some of your nails. You can get pimples. You can lose some hair, but it's a natural process of detox, right? Detoxification. So you just need to be patient with the process and don't be scared, because the scaredness is actually bringing you on the acidic side. Right. I think that's so important, because I always talk about just principle. So just knowing your principles and having faith in principles that reliably work. You're never ever going to run into a situation where you lose faith that gravity is not going to pull a ball that you throw into the air back down to the ground. Like, you're never going to lose that faith in this natural principle that works 24/7 all the time, since the beginning of time, blah blah blah. So it's finding the principles that govern life, and when you do, have faith in them without that fear, because
I don't know how it was for you, but when I started, as much as I did have my books, and I had people that I could
I
read
see
from.
that. That's amazing.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
I had lots of literature, but I didn't have anybody to guide me. So, like I had nobody giving me a what I eat in a day.
But these are thoughts of people, right? These are thoughts of people. You want your own thoughts.
Yeah. But I think for me, what I think was important was that I didn't have the fear, though. I had enough understanding that there was no fear whatsoever, and I didn't care what the response in my body was going to be. I kind of went in knowing like my body's going to respond how it's going to respond, because that's how life works. That's how the vital principle works. And I'm just going to do what I know is the best thing for me. And so, so for me, I mean, I know I am a frugivore. Okay, there's nothing I can do to change this. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
So I just went out to the store and just bought stuff that frugivores would eat. That's it. That's the only guidance that I had. All the other details I picked up later on, but initially I didn't have anybody to coach me through it. I'm like, who the hell? Yeah. What are you gonna tell me? Eat fruit? Yeah, I get it. I know. Okay, I'll just do that. Okay. So I didn't have any guidance, but I knew principle. And so I just did that fearlessly.
Natural instinct.
Yeah, of course. And I guess the last thing I want to say is that before we, because this is amazing. I think we got some really good stuff for people to ponder. But this, when you're transitioning to this lifestyle, to this cleaner modality of eating, it can be, sometimes people will have like superhuman expectations about what's going to happen in a short period of time. Okay. Amazing things happen. Yes, they do. Amazing things happen. Look at you yourself had this amazing recovery from trauma, from your accident, right? People will have incredible health recoveries from doing this. However, right, some people might be discouraged here or there because of particular little idiosyncratic things where each individual has particular weaknesses that are more reluctant to heal or more reluctant to change. Okay. And sometimes people get frustrated with this thing.
Yes.
For me, for example, eyesight. My eyesight was very bad. Like when I was a kid, I needed glasses when I was in senior kindergarten, right? I had
you too.
Oh, okay, you too? Yeah, like I had very, very, very weak genetics for eyesight. Okay, very weak. And so my eyesight has not healed from this lifestyle. Okay, now it has improved a little bit, and the only time my prescription has dropped a bit is doing what I'm doing now. So there has been slight improvement, but my eyesight is by no means like healed. And so for me in particular, for whatever reason, okay, whatever influences I was getting, from the diet, from my parents' diet, when my mom was pregnant with me, from who knows, all sorts of influences. For me, that is one of my weaknesses that is very difficult to deal with. And whereas someone else might see eyesight recover very, very quickly, right? The point is, you are going to notice drastic improvements in many, many areas of your life, many, many areas. Yeah. But if the lifestyle, don't get frustrated if you don't see something in particular that you want, heal right away, or like you don't know how this approach is going to gradually change your life. It will, for the better, but it's not like you are just going to take off into the sky flying like Superman after a month of eating raw, 6 months of eating raw.
You have to go worse first. First, you need to go worse before it gets worse before it gets better. Yes. Yeah, you need to reverse. So you begin into the root, especially with herbs. That's what herbs are designed for, to dig in. Once you get to that root,
right.
Oh my goodness, my malabsorption is fixed. I utilize calcium. I absorb everything. wow, I'm healed, you know, this is
Yeah.
how it works.
Yes.
But you're going through the hell sometimes on detox symptoms, right? When you are healing. So this is important to address too. So you just know that this is how the healing is going. But I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I was so excited to say that. And you brought up a very beautiful thing too, Ellie. You said about that you were born with that vision weakness. And then you said that you checked that and there got slightly better. It's not healed, but it's slightly better. But you know, we live in all that measurements and all that BMI statistics and stuff. I don't think we need to worry about it. And in a real healthy life, there is no measurements. They never tested people who are healthy. They base their tests on people who are sick or have heavy diet. So they have these statistics. They're not relevant. They're irrelevant. You know what I mean? They're not clear. And they should start testing people after detox, like these who healed, you know, who are healing on this lifestyle. Try to test them and create a new scale. You know, how about that? Maybe you will discover that your eyes are actually, your vision is actually healed. You know, you see great, like you can't. I don't know what's your experience, but I see brighter colors. I see more colors. I see depth in colors. It's crazy, right? Like, yeah, because I had weakness too, a vision weakness. They told me I will be blind. There's such a long list of my recovery stories, but you can check that out on Dr. Morse's actually course where I was recording, and I'm still recording, doing that process to create that whole class for you. And I share all my recovery stories, everything that I went through. So I highly suggest to check that out. It's so much information.
Yeah. I'll post. So I will post everything, all the information on your channel and how you can get in touch with you, you know, below in the description for this. So guys, please, you know, check out Raw Coconut Girl's channel. Get in touch if you need. And this is
trying to wrap it up.
This has been great. No,
too long.
This has been awesome. Obviously we don't want to run on too long, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart coming onto the channel and sharing your experience. It's really good for my audience and everybody out there to see just more fruitarians being successful, thriving, being healthy, not deteriorating, just withering into the ground. We're here.
We are on the same level of energy. We resonate the same. Did you see? Did you notice? We are wearing same colors.
Great minds think alike.
We didn't plan on it. I called Ellie. Where?
No, of course we're floating each other's boats here. Okay, no, no. This is great. Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And guys,
thank you for having me.
Oh no problem. My pleasure. And for everyone out there, if you like this video, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. That always helps with our ratings. And take care of yourself, take care of your body, live that raw lifestyle, live that fruit-based lifestyle if you're so inclined. Just whatever it is, just don't fall for the lies and the erroneous delusions of the world. That's what we're here to dispel. So thank you so much again. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Write in the comments below if you have any questions that were not addressed here. I'm sure there are. If you have more issues that you'd like us to resolve, then of course, you're always welcome back, and we can tackle some new issues. So, okay, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah. Beauty.
Woo.
Awesome. All right.